What's going on, everyone? So welcome to beautiful Buellton, California. We just spent 5 hours in this thing, me and Vito. Vito Lafata from Lafata Cellars out of Temecula. He's bringing some fruit up here to get produced by these guys, and we're gonna go in and check these guys out in just a few minutes. We're unloading the truck right now, and I'm gonna try to get some B-roll of that and go inside and take a little tour. My first time here, and they're working, so I don't know that I want to bother too many people. The main partner owner isn't here, but I think we're going to chat with Vito and also the winemaker, so we'll kind of see how today plays out. But I'm glad to get out of that truck, and I'm excited to be here. These are your grapes that we just had delivered.
Yep, this is our Merlot.
Merlot, and we're de-stemming. This is the
That's
de-stemming
right.
machine.
Everything goes up into this big machine. Starts to kind of filter out the big chunks of the stuff that are in there.
Right.
And it shoots on up this little ladder, if you will.
Yeah.
And that puts it into the de-stemmer over there. That's going to spit them out on the back side. Pulls out the best juice into the bin there, and then the stemmer and all the debris that we don't want gets spit out on the back side. Every time we harvest, this process goes on as one of the first stages of what we got to do to get the wine prepared for fermentation. Yeah.
So after it goes up here,
Up to the thing,
so does it just like shake the shit out of it?
No,
And then
it puts it through almost like a, think of it like a filter.
Okay.
And it'll just strip it out so that those fall out.
Right.
And you've got the remaining crap stems that we don't want down here anymore. And this is the stuff that goes bye-bye. We don't like this.
We don't like that.
We like what's in that barrel.
Oh, let's walk around and look at that one. The what? The unsexy but needed part?
That's it.
All right, let's take a look at this.
When you drink it.
That's right.
And then there, you get the beautiful grape.
There we go.
Look at that. That's going to make some good wine. We're doing this with the grapes that you're using for your wine.
I love it.
So
We're coming.
it's all part of the process.
That sounds good. What did you bring over? Like
We
what?
brought Syrah and Cab Sauv over, but then we
Okay.
also work with a grower to grab some Merlot.
Merlot,
so we
that's
grabbed
right.
Merlot from same guy that kind of tends our vines.
Okay.
And then we brought in our Syrah that are now in their 6th year, and we brought over our Cab Sauv that's in its 4th year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at this, you guys. Check this out. How many pounds? 15,000 pounds?
All of it was probably about 20,000 pounds.
20,000 pounds we just brought up here. That's why the truck was so freaking slow.
That's why we couldn't go faster than 55.
I know, we're trying to go up
Tried
these.
55. We knew that song would last.
We're trying to go up these hills to get here, and like the truck would just not go fast at all. So we were doing like 32 miles an hour and like a 60 up this hill. But yeah, so far so good. There's still a lot more to go, as you can see.
Not a lot of raisins, so
Good.
yeah, these will, we've got juicy berries here, but this stuff, we'll wait for those to kind of get incorporated, let that sugar release, get a good consistent sugar reading before we inoculate, maybe water back a little bit just so our alcohol is in check, and then let it ride.
All right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we are tasting. I need to make some choices. What wines do I want to launch with? There's several options. There's also some time constraints based on when I want to launch and what I can realistically launch with, like
Okay.
what's ready to go kind of stuff.
Yeah. Roll out what's ready now, and the rest you hold back a little bit until it's ready to go.
Exactly. So this is Sauvignon Blanc.
This is Sauv Blanc, yep. Now remember, when you got these, they just got put in bottle maybe a month and a half ago.
This wine here?
That's right.
Okay.
So the nose on it's solid. It's going to probably need a little time to get the finish on it.
Sure,
but by
sure,
the time you release to the public, it'll be there.
All right, let's
This
give it
gives you a good idea of where it's at.
So far, I like the nose. Fruity, lemon lime, lemongrass, typical Sauv Blanc.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It hasn't been in the fridge, so we got a little bit of, but it's already, you can already tell it's got solid base, solid foundation, so it's going to be a good wine.
That's right where I like it.
Yep.
There's that tiny, tiny bit of tartness to it, which will probably mellow out over time.
And when we're talking about what you want to release out, I'm always
Yeah.
definitely going to recommend at least a white. We just discussed about getting rosé in bottle, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Chard's another great one, but at least one white.
Yep.
and a couple reds if we can, but
Yeah.
I prefer seeing you maybe do 2 whites, 2 reds at least.
Yeah.
Just depends on, over time, what we roll out.
Yep, for sure. So legit, this is the first time I've got my nose and my palate on this. And what do we we have a red, at least 1 or 2 reds we're gonna...
Yes, we will be able to taste Cab Sauv, and I think we have the Chardonnay that we can taste.
Okay.
So we'll see where they're at.
Fantastic, gentlemen.
Dean's the man that tells us.
All right, Dean's a winemaker, so
Yeah.
he's busy right now. The winemaker doesn't really want to chat on camera, totally fine. But off camera, he talked a lot about how recently these wines were bottled. And you explained it in a more physical, dynamic way.
Yeah.
You grabbed a hold of me and shook the shit out of me.
So if I'm grabbing John and shaking the crap out of him, and that you have to imagine that somebody did that to your body, like physically, violently, just shook the crap out of you. It takes you a couple seconds to get your bearings back, right?
Right.
Well, when wine is being pumped into the bottle, it's a violent process. It's getting jammed in there, so everything is a little bit disturbed, if you will. Kind of like John.
Whatever.
And it just takes a little time to settle back down.
Yeah,
which
he
then
also-
allows the flavor profiles to settle back to the
And
right
that's,
order.
and that's, I think, my biggest takeaway is like all the flavors are out of order right now. There should be the top, there should be a base or a middle, and then that base
Yeah,
flavor.
because you
that
always
you're
have wines, well, good wines will have a tertiary, like the primary that you take in, secondary flavor, and tertiary. If you get wines down to a tertiary level, first off, you're a good wine drinker, and two, you got great wine in front of you, and that's it. Right now, these bottles need a little bit more time, these wines need a little bit more time to get the order settled back down. So that's why you were tasting the tartness before you were tasting like the melon, which is typical of it, or the floral that's typical of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that'll eventually settle out and be ready for hopefully your December launch, dude.
Right. So that actually makes a lot of sense. So it's been a few weeks these wines have been in the bottle, and he was saying, the winemaker was saying like another 6 weeks ish, and it'll be like dynamite, ready to go. Everything will be dialed in. So we're lining things up, folks. We're lining things up. So we're gonna taste the Syrah
We're gonna taste the Syrah next. Yeah.
next, and then we're gonna taste the Cab.
The Cab, I'm gonna see if we can try this Chardonnay.
Okay.
I don't know if it's ready, but we'll find out. If so, we might jump here and then jump to these guys, and that's what we got today.
All right. So
We're tasting the Chardonnay.
we're tasting the Chardonnay, and I'm saying that I'm not really a Chardonnay guy because I don't like where are you?
I'm here.
I don't-
But
Like-
you're the star.
the butter bomb vanilla Chardonnay, and you were like, yeah, that's Napa shit. Like, we don't do that here. You do, what'd you say?
So we go neutral oak, and then we add what are called oak staves to it so that we can achieve the oak balance that we want versus the entire barrel when you're using typically a new French oak or something like that. It can dominate the grape, which then
Right.
makes it, you're like, oh man, I have to alter it in some way to reduce that, where we kind of go like start with neutral. The grape gets to define where it's at. The barrel won't really have an impact on it. What we do is add oak staves. And oak staves is where, if you ever look at the way a barrel's formed, each one of these things is a stave. And they're held together by these rings. Well, we're able to take these and decide, hey, let's put 6 of them in an oak barrel. And how much oak does that impart to the wine? And then we're like, do we like that balance? No, we want a little bit more oak. Add a couple more. This way you can add as much as you want to get to the balance that you want, versus if it was in all this, you don't have that same level of control about how much oak is going to be imparted on it. And that's just the difference about what Central Coast is doing a lot with their shards.
That's really interesting because I'm tasting this, and even though that's fairly new in bottle,
Yeah.
I'm liking where that is. And I'm not really a Chardonnay fan. I generally pass on anything Chardonnay, but that's kind of doing it for me.
Yeah, and remember, you choosing your wines, you're also not necessarily thinking about like, what am I going to drink? You're going to be thinking about what your audience wants to drink,
true,
and
true,
be like,
true.
hey, I got Chardonnay lovers. Where's this at? And now I get to bring in a different Chardonnay that a lot of people will sometimes rule out. You get to bring one that you're like, this is more universal appeal, which means you guys get to find a great wine because of this gentleman right here.
That's actually not bad, you guys. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be amazing in not very long from now. It's good right now, and like I
It's
said,
good right now.
I'm-
It's good right now. I would take that as is.
I'm legitimately shocked and surprised of how much I like this Chardonnay. This might be the one.